Now then, I'm just going to go over the Zeek control panel for this van, and a lot of people seem to have trouble with it. I don't understand why. I'll just go over it very quickly. Now, there's a fan there for the extract fan above the cooker, a switch. There's a master switch there, 12 volt, which switches the 12 volt on. There's one for the water pump for the sink and the shower. And it's to do with the water level people seem to get confused with. And it's quite simple. And what you do is you fill the water tank up until it gurgles. And then what you do is you calibrate it. So you press this button in there with one hand, and then with the other one you twist this knob clockwise. There's no water in it at all. And there's a full mark here. So you fill the tank up with water till it gurgles. You know it's full. You hear that on the outside. You press this button in, and then you turn that little knob there, holding that button in till it reads full. And it's as simple as that. And then as you start using the water, don't touch this set control again. You'll notice the needle on this meter will move down. It's very, very simple. The other thing it does, when you press it, you see there's a green light there. That tells you the leisure battery is normal. And things like that. Right. The other thing is, let's go through this. Now, when you're driving, you should get the charger light on when the engine's running, and that shows it's putting a charge into the leisure battery. There's also a fridge light as well, so when the fridge is on, that will be illuminated as well. Now then, on some of these vans, not all of them that have this panel, this charge light changes to green when you're driving. That means the leisure battery is charged fully, but mine doesn't, and a lot of vans don't do that at all. Now the other thing people have said, I can't find my fuses. Where are my fuses? Now you put your fingernail in, excuse me, I've got underseen paint on my finger. You put your fingernail in there and press, and this flap opens like that, and there are your fuses. Now on the back of the cover it tells you what the fuses are and what they do. Now these are not modern car fuses. These are called 1.25 inches in length by 1/4 inch, and these were fuse sizes that were commonly used on televisions, radios, hi-fi systems and things like that, and they used that size on the Morris Minor. Now you'll find that a lot of car accessory shops do not sell this size of fuse, physical size. You've got to go to electronic shop. Now I was going to say you could go to Maplin and they sell them, but they don't anymore. And the other thing, let's just make sure this is recorded, and the other thing is, in this end there should be spare fuses. There should be at least one of each type of fuse in current rating. It might be missing, you know. Mine are in a little bag and you can see it's completely empty there, and I've carried fuses and I put them in a little plastic bag and put them in there. And a lot of people don't even know they're there, these fuses, because of this cover, but it does say fuses there. Some people try and take the whole thing out and all sorts, and you just put your fingernail in and that's it. The socket here is not the same size as a cigarette lighter socket. You can buy the plugs, and they're about £2 or £3 to buy, so that's easy. And really, that's all there is to this control panel. The only other thing is related to this is when you're on mains hookup, there is another control box in your van. Some are under the floor and some are in the cupboard. I'll just go down here and you can see there's a switch there. Now it's quite easy by accident, by using this little cupboard, to put saucepans in and knock that switch off, and if that switch is knocked off by mistake, it means your leisure battery won't charge on hookup. and that will actually glow, that switch, when you've got hookup and it's switched on. There is a fuse there. And lastly, in this van, well no, I'll do some other things. In the van, in the cupboard here, in the wardrobe, this outlet, this fuse switched spur here, this is for your water heater. And you can see, and that lights up as well when it's, but this only works on hookup. And then underneath here, you've got circuit breakers, which should always be in the on position, and that's really covered the electrics to a certain extent. Now, just mention the fridge. People get confused about these as well. This is a three-way fridge. It will work from 230 volt electric hookup, and it will work from your battery, your engine battery, but that will only work when the engine is running. When the engine's not running, the fridge does not work because it takes such a lot of power it could flatten your batteries. So it only works when the engine is running, and again, people get mixed up with that. This end of the fridge is the gas, and you set the temperature and the ignition. Now, just going back to the battery side, and when the engine's running and you're running the fridge on 12 volt, the thermostat knob does not work. It's on full freeze on the fridge when you're running along. It's only when you're on electric hookup this thermostat knob will actually control the temperature of your fridge. I don't think there's anything else on the electrics. Oh, well, in my van it's got a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector here, fire blanket, which is essential, fire extinguisher, that is essential, and that's a quick run over the van electrics. The only thing I've done here with one of these double sockets, when you're on electric hookup, I've swapped it so I've got two USBs, so I can charge my phone just sitting here. Oh yeah, I could go over the lights. In this van you've got several spotlight type things, or task lights, and normally you should find you should have at least one or two mains operated one, and the others are 12 volt from your leisure battery. This one, if you wonder what all these things are, these hanging up there, these are magnetic hooks, and there's very little steel in this van on the interior, so we just put them on there so we don't lose them. The strip lights have been changed to LED. This one and that one are run from the leisure battery. The ones in the cab are switched to run on the leisure battery, but I've got a switch so I can switch them over to the engine battery. So if you get a leisure battery fail, we still can have some interior lighting. Thanks for watching. Hope this has been useful to somebody. I'm not going to go over the solar panel systems or anything like that. And please subscribe and like.